create multiple components, multiple components, I can say. That means what are all the components we created? You can see for that we use a command ng, G for generate, right? G for generate. What we are going to create? Component. And I'm creating something like Netflix hyphen header hyphen skip hyphen test. This is one component. Like the way we'll be creating four components. Now this is the header, and after that we have the main component. After that we have register component. After that we are having what? Index component. Like the total we are having four components that are created. Now let's start with the design. Now what we are going to develop, as I told you, let's say a simple home page of the Netflix, that's it. So what it contain, you can see we have some heading or something. We have some background and enter email address ready to watch, create your email, unlimited movies, something blah, 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 that's what we are having. Now what I can do, I'm going to considering like, the main is different and inside that registration, this is different. Like that I'm considering. For that, first, let us right click and then I'm going to search image. Otherwise, it's not the web page. I need the background image actually. Let me go to my inspect. Somewhere we have that image. Okay. Actually, we don't need all. We just need like, the background image. That's fine. But it is cool. Good. Okay. Now you can see I'm taking an image over here. But as I told you, like we always, we supposed to save in our folder where I can go with the Angular session 15, Angular, and there we are having Angular example, and there you can find the project. There, which project right now? We are at the components project only. Under that SRC, go with the assets folder. Okay, maybe I can say Netflix hyphen background, that what I can do. Okay, a simple one, but always it's a good practice to keep all your images in a folder. That is what we call it as assets folder. Now I'm going to keep that one. Now you can see, fine. It was like, stored it over there. Now let's start the development. Okay, how we can do that? I'm going to start like, here with the first one, that is the index component. I'm assuming that index is going to be my starting component and I'm going to start from there. So how I can do that one? Go to here, go to that index, and in that we have the HTML, and in this particular HTML, anyhow, like, we have already added the bootstrap yesterday only. We don't need to add it for every day. because like it was added in a styles.css. If you can see, I added it in a styles.css so that like we need not to add again and again. Now let's start with the development. It's quite simple one. I'll take a div where I'm going to use a class that is going to be container hyphen fluid that what I can give. Okay, container hyphen fluid that what I can give. And I'm going to give some ID is equal to, let's say, background that what I can give. Just I'm adding some ID to this one, and the ID is going to be the background that what I have given. And after completing that, let me have a div where I'm going to give another ID that is going to be box. Just I'll add like some CSS properties to that so that you might get understand. And the next one is going to be, I'll take another div here where I can give the class as going to be margin top 4. These are bootstrap classes. And in that, okay, that means in the top, I wanted to have like the header. So how I can do that one? Simply app hyphen, okay, Netflix hyphen, we have the header is available or not. You can see that. If you can observe that, now what I want to do, this is that index. Okay, the total would be an index that what I am having. Index is going to be my page that what I am considering. Okay, and this one at the header, I'm going to place another component. Now, what component it is going to be? It is going to be app hyphen Netflix, hyphen. We have the header component, and I'm going to keep the header. Clear now? Clear or not? Right? That is the one. But total component is going to be what it is? App hyphen Netflix hyphen. We have what? Main component. Sorry, not main. Index. I'm sorry. Index is my main component. And after this, all together, I'm going to keep it in where? In which file? Ah, very good. That means I'm going to have it in my index.html. That is what I'm planning. Okay. So first what I'm doing, I created like, app hyphen Netflix hyphen index. In that I'm calling the header. Now, once if the header part is done, then let's go with the next one. The next one is going to be, I just wanted to take another div where I can say d hyphen flex. Different properties, that's up to you. Whatever you want to give, you can. And I'm giving d hyphen flex. All these are going to be whatever I'm explaining here. Those are like the bootstrap one. So that's up to you, like whatever you want to use. D hyphen flex. And after that, let's say justify hyphen content hyphen center that what I can give, and after that align hyphen items that what I can give, items hyphen center that what I can give. All these are bootstrap 5 classes. If anyone don't know, just search about that class so that you will understand. And after that, if I wanted to provide like any styles, you can let me give a style over here. Something like height as going to be somewhere around 300 pixel, that what I can say. Clear now? I added like, all these bootstrap classes to this particular one. Maybe I'll come to here. Right. Now in this particular place, what I can do, I'll be using app hyphen Netflix hyphen, okay, main that what I can give. App hyphen Netflix hyphen main. That means as the process of it, I'm going to create another one. That is the main here. This is another component. Okay, what is this component is app hyphen Netflix hyphen main is the component. Understood? Total is going to be index. Inside that index, I used what? Netflix index. Inside that, I used how many component? 2 components. Okay, and again, in main, okay, I'm going to create another component. Okay, at final, I have like, the 4th one. that is going to be app hyphen Netflix hyphen register. That what I can create. Okay. Now you can see we created like, total 4 component. One component we can give it in another component. This is all together. We call it as a nested component. This is how like, that architecture right now today what we are building. Now in that I'm done with like, the index page, but I haven't specified any kind of CSS properties, as I just wanted to show like, the background with some image, and I wanted to give some box and all. So that is what the reason I'll go to my index, okay, CSS, and here what I can do is I'll be writing something like background. Shrikant, why you have used hash here? Why hash it is? ID. Very good. That means whenever if you people are having an ID, then give the CSS properties with the help of hash. If it is a class, dot. If it is a tag, directly you can give the name of the tag. Now I'm giving like, few property. The first one is going to be background image, where I can give, let's say, the image URL. I'll be giving the URL. Assets folder is required. Right, assets folder, and you can give it over there, because like there only we have it. And the next property, maybe anything whatever like, you required, you can give. But I just wanted to give like, the background image, that is the one. And before that, like first we run, then we'll come to know like how it would be. So what I can do is I'll be taking app hyphen Netflix index is the starting. So I'll go to my index.html, where what I can do, I'm going to give something like that. This is the one I have given. And after that, I'll go to Netflix index component and go to that app module. Okay, we'll be giving that one and save it. And now you can run that application. So how could I run? ngs-o hyphen project is equal to, I'll be writing components demo. Okay. Now you can see Netflix header works. And after that, like, here somewhere you find Netflix main content. And inside that, like, we will be creating one more, but this height is not adjustable properly. So you may give like, some height for that one. Let us close it, close this one also. I'll be giving some height. You can give some height around 768 pixel or something, and save it and then come back here. Now it is completely aligned with the page. Okay, that size can be anything, that's depend on the browser. As I told you, I'm not concentrating more on the CSS. If you wanted to give any other, you can. And at the same time, I wanted to give like, couple of box properties. So how I can do that one? Because like here we created another one, that is the box. Now for this one also, let's say I'm giving a hash and give the box here. And here what I can do, let's give some margin, maybe around 30 pixel margin I can give. And after that, background hyphen color, that what I can give. Okay, you may give like, some colors over there, 0, 0, 0, 5 or something. Okay, just you can give something like this. And after that, the height is going to be 768 pixel, and save it and then come back here. Okay, don't worry. Here only like we will be displaying everything, because the background, if you can observe that like this only, later we can change it. Now, once if it is done, the next step is going to be, we can start with the header component. Now in the header, we will be having what, the Netflix banner, right? You can see the Netflix application, we have like, something like this, and we have Netflix banner is available. So I can that particular one in my header component so that I can close this. I can close this one too. Okay, I can close this one too. Now let's start with the next one that is going to be header. So that go to the header part also. Where it is Netflix header. I'll go to my header and implement the header part for this one. Again, let's take a div where I can have a class that is going to be container hyphen fluid is the class, and margin top I'll be giving something 3 or something. I'll take another div. Let's go with some margin. Okay, M stands for margin, P stands for padding, B stands for border property. All together we call it as box model, CSS box model. That means every HTML element you can take, which is having these three properties for sure: margin, padding, and a border. Okay, margin means like outside the border, padding means inside the border. Okay, we have the content, and for the content to the border, that space what we call it as a padding. Outside is called what? Margin. So give like, a proper way all these properties. Now I can give some margin padding, and after that let's give deflex that what I can give, and after that justify hyphen content hyphen between that what I can give, and after that let me have a span, and for this one I just wanted to give a class as going to be some brand or whatever. And I'm going to write something like Netflix, just a kind of heading, and after that I'll be taking a span, and in the span what I can do is let me provide a different option. Sorry, first we should have what select, I guess. We should have some select here, and in that, like, you can provide that options like whatever we are having. Now let me take a span. After that, we'll be giving the select, and I'll give some class here. We'll be writing it. Don't worry. I don't need like, the remaining properties at this moment for me, and provide like, different options here. I'll be writing an option something like language empty language. After that, I'll give an option that is English, where I can write the English. And after that, we have what a sign in button is available so that you can generate the button over there. Let us have the button and PTN, and PTN hyphen, what color it is? Red. Red means what? Danger. I can give the danger where I can give sign in or something. That's it. Now for this particular brand, we'll be applying the property. It's a class so that I can give the brand, and where I can say font size is going to be somewhere around 35 pixel because the font is good. And after that, I'm going to give the color as going to be red, and save it, and then come back here. Now you can see this is how it is, Netflix. And after that, you can see here we have what the language. Don't expect exactly similar because it requires a lot of CSS. Exact similar, but I mean, it's not like, what I can say, rocket science, but we should spend some hours in order to get it. That's it. With our like, time flexibility, we can't complete it like, in a session. That's it. Now the next thing is going to be, okay, fine, header part is done. Next we'll moving into the main part. So in the main part, you can observe that what we are having, just it's a heading message. And after that, like, we have blah, blah, blah. And finally, we will ask the user to get like, that email address. That's it. Now again, what I can do, I'll be going to here. Header is done. Okay, header part is done. Right click, close other. Now, once if the heading part is done, the next one is going to be what I want to do. I'll go to my main page because this is how I'm architecting. I have app hyphen Netflix hyphen index. In that I created two. One is header part is done. So the next part, what we are going to start, main part. Okay, main part. In the main again, register. So that I'll go with the main now. Now you can see, I'll go with the main HTML and main CSS. Now I'm writing it over there. So here it is quite simple one. I'll take a simple div here. And the first one is going to be, you can see unlimited movies, TV shows and more something blah, blah, blah. So I'll copy the text from here and then let's give a H1 tag and then giving it over there. That is the first one. After that, I'll take a simple H2 here, watch anywhere, cancel anytime. But if you forget to cancel every month, it's too costly, Netflix. But good content only, documentaries and all. Okay, live. Now you can see after completing that, now what I want to do, I'm going to use and another one that is going to be the registration. For registration again, I'll create a new component. I have already a new component. I'm going to use that component. So what component I'm having? App hyphen, Netflix hyphen. You can see we have the register component. Maybe I can write this one by taking another div by giving margin top as going to be the 3 or 4. Some space you can give and where I can just display it. Now you can save it and then come back here. See there, unlimited movies, TV shows, and whatever. But like it should be in what white color at least, so that we come to know. We can give directly to the div. First one like we have given ID. Second one I have given class. Now we go with the div and here which property color and then no need to remember like RGB combination. You can give directly the name of the color so that it will be. And after that, let's say text align as going to be, maybe I can write it in a center. Now this is how it is. Now the last one, what we need to have? Registration. So that means we should display a button over there. So it is done. Now you can see here what I am calling app hyphen Netflix hyphen register. I'm calling it so that I can go to that particular component again. So let's close it. And then you can see Netflix register is available. And in that register, we'll open it and then we'll be adding some CSS if it required. Now, how to create the registration? Just it's a quite simple. I'll take div again, and then we'll be having a paragraph here. So what it is? Ready to watch, enter an email to restart your membership. So I'm giving like this. After that, I'll take a div where I can give the class input hyphen group I can give because and after that input hyphen group hyphen large I can say for that I am giving an LG. Now what we are having here, one text box. After that we have what? A button. That's it, right? So first let's create a text box. So how to create the text box? Input and the type is going to be, maybe I can take an email because it is asking me to enter that email address so that I can give the same thing. Input type equal to an email. And after that, let's say I'll be using a placeholder here. Placeholder is equal to what it is showing, email address. Okay, let's give email address. That's it. This is the one. And after that, it is basically a form control so that Bootstrap to create, we have a class that is going to be form hyphen control I can give. And the next one is going to be, let's have the button. And for that BTN, and then BTN danger I can use, BTN hyphen danger I can use. And here the text is going to be what, get started. So I'll be giving a text here, get started, and then right, get started. After that, we have a button. I mean, an arrow is there. I added the bootstrap icons, right? Bootstrap icon. The purpose of bootstrap icon is for that reason only. Creating, let's say, some kind of images at the time of using it. So to how to create that one, I'll take a span and then it is a bootstrap icon, and the bootstrap icon is going to be children, right? Right? I guess that only. Children, right. Okay, children, right or something. Right only. Okay, right only. I mean, if you want to know about the bootstrap icon, just you can see bootstrap icons. When I open the bootstrap icon and I click on open, now it will give you all the icons that are available. Now in that we need chevron, right? See how many are there. Search for. See this. Okay, chevron compact, right? Okay. So like that we have chevron left is there. Okay, you can observe that chevron left and then chevron right. If you wanted to get that classes, just click on there, and there you can see we have some examples related to that. Now what they have added also, you can find it here. You can see that what they have added. Simply, these are the classes they added. BI stands for bootstrap icon, and here they are using like that. Now just to copy that, I mean, how real time people will do is like this only, guys. Just to copy that, and then you may give it over there. Now they have given what I tag in place of I. As per my requirement, I can go with the span tag, so that I can give a span tag over there. That's it. Now you can see I'll come to here, and this is how it is. Okay, a simple page what I asked you to implement, not 100%, because if you are completely a UI developer, then it's okay. You can take care of everything. But my intention is going to be how we supposed to use what multiple component. That means this architecture is important. This architecture is important for me. So like this, we can use. Now in whole scenario, if you can remember, whenever if I wanted to get some component, what I'm using the selector or not. So that is the fourth question I asked you here. You can observe that how to invoke a component. Now how I'm going to get that component with the help of selector. Selector will play a major role. Okay. So that is how it is going to be. Any questions here? Anyone have any questions? Good, Ramya. Thanks for sharing. Next. Any questions? But here we don't have any limitation where we can use one component in one place. Suppose let's say here in this example, maybe if you can go to the main, okay, inside the main of HTML, I use register for one time. Suppose Srikanth, can I use it for multiple times? Yes, you can do that. Maybe I can give, and the margin top is going to be some 5, and I can give one more time. The time when I'm giving it over there, now you can see how it would be. That means how many times you call that with the help of selector, those many times it will load. If you call for one time, then one time. If you call for 10 times, then 10 times it will get loaded. we don't have any like, problem to call only for one time or only for two times. Okay, any number of times. That is where the definition of a component is going to be what? A component is a reusable user interface. Okay, reusable user interface. Now you can see Netflix register page, if you can go, at least, okay, at least you can see we have 10 lines of code is there. 10 lines of code is there. Suppose I need these 10 lines of code, let's say for 10 times, then 10 into 10, 100 lines, right? Yes or no? 100 lines code has to be copy pasted. That's not a big deal. But someone told me that Srikanth, in place of, let's say, ready to watch, okay, ready to play, just to change it like, ready to play. Again, I supposed to change it in all the 10 places or not? Yes or no? That means we don't have the consistency. We are not having the reusability. That is where, like, one thing where we are left with the jQuery and all. All these are like what it will do is it won't give you good, like, the reusability. But now one time if I change it here, now no need to change it in all the places. Instead of calling these 10 lines of the code, what I'm doing, I'm calling just only the selector of it, so that you see one place I change, it is affected in, like, all the places where I'm having. Clear? That is where I told you a component is a reusable building block, a reusable UI, what it provides, and that component can be used for multiple times also. That's up. Okay. Like, any questions here? Any questions? So we are good with, like, the components right now. These examples are like, more than enough to learn about the component. We so far, like, whatever we have seen, these are more than enough to learn about the component. Right. Still, any questions if you people are having, you could ask me. Sir, can we use Masterpace for whole project? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Now, in our scenario, like, the master page is going to be what? Main page is the master, right? Now, there only I'm going to keep everything, right? Yes, we can do it. Otherwise, like, you can go to that index page and there you can create whatever you want. That is also fine. Okay. Okay, I'll take it as no question. And the next concept that what we are going to discuss here is the very important one, that is data binding. So step one is going to be this one. Step two, implement, okay, implement components. And step three, invoke from, okay, from where we are invoking? Index. That means Netflix app hyphen Netflix hyphen index. Okay, just so you can do that one. And after completing that, so today what I am trying to do, I'm going to share you, like, the whole project. One announcement, as I already informed you, tomorrow and after tomorrow, 2 days I am not available. So please create, like, as many as component and you can start using it. Okay, don't waste the time. At least for 1 hour you can sit, then that should be fine. Like, that means creating a workspace and creating the component, creating an application. Okay, one component into another component. How do we invoke? Okay, change with the different file names. Like that you can try. Whatever it happen, you can just give it to me. I'll give the solution. Just to play around. Okay, these 2 days. Right. So the next one is going to be, I can say, The very interesting one, that is data binding. Now, what is mean by data binding here and how we can make use of it? Right. Data binding in Angular. Now, what is mean by data binding? What is mean by data binding? So generally, if you can see, when I try to open maybe, let's say Gmail of mine. Now, whatever like, you people are seeing here, this data is coming from where? Some server that is from different database, right? If you could open like your Gmail, do you find like all these emails, whatever I'm getting? No. That means the data is going to be constructed based on the credentials that we have applied. That is what we call it as a dynamic in nature. That means the structure is same, the UI look and everything is same. Obviously, like you people also having primary, promotion, social update, these are fine. But like the emails are different because these emails, what happen? I'm getting it from where? From the server. So what data binding mechanism will do is, data binding is a technique. I can say it is a technique which is used to bind the data with HTML. That means after getting the data from the server, that data I'm going to integrate with the HTML. And also if if we modify, and also if we modify, then it will update back to the server. Back to the server, I can say. Server, I can say. That's it. A data binding in Angular is a technique which will be used to bind the data to the HTML. That means you can get the data and that data you can bind it. Otherwise, what you can do, the same data that you can update it back also. That's up to you. So both the possibilities are there. So that is how. Now, Angular generally, I mean, Shrikant, like, do we have it? It is a new concept? Means no. From the JavaScript, data binding is there because if there is no data, what you are going to show, right? Obviously. So that is the reason where JavaScript jQuery is using like lot of DOM manipulations, append child. We have like different functions are available. Let me create like the child, and after that append child, and after that some sort of like uh, functions it required, and by using those functions, what it will do? It will do like the data binding generally. But here in Angular, it made like very much simple. It's very simple when it comes to the Angular. That means in JavaScript or jQuery, anything you can take, JavaScript take jQuery, we use DOM manipulations functions simply. DOM manipulation functions to do this activity. To do this activity, we will be using that one. But in Angular, it is much simple. I can say that it in Angular, it is going to be much simple. That what I can say. Now, how this data binding will work? Internally, data binding, data binding can be done in two ways, by using design patterns. That means we have like two approaches are available. First one is going to be MVC and second one is going to be MVVM, where MVC stands for what? Model view, and after that we have what? Controller. Now when it comes to an MVVM, we have what? Model to view Okay. And after that, view to model, that what I can say. Like that it is going to be. Model to view is the one approach. And second one is going to be view to model. Now, what exactly that MVC design pattern? What you know about MVC? What is MVC stands for? Model view and controller. What a model will do? Model. I'm asking model. In MVC, we have model, view, and a controller, right? What is the purpose of the model? Very good. Next. When I say about a model is nothing but the data. Generally, where the data would be, I mean, where you're storing the data, tell me. Database. And from the database, we are getting the data and storing in where? Variable. Am I right? Yes or no? So far, like we created like many variables when we discussed the TypeScript. That means we created something like, let's say, we created we created something like let x is of type number is equal to 101 that we have stored, and after that maybe I can create another one. Let y, I'm going to take an array. Okay, it's going to be an array which is of type, let's say, maybe some string array. Okay, and here you can have the list of items, or else I'm creating an object that is going to be the person, where it comes with some first name and last name, and we have some data. Am I right? Yes or no? Or else like we created an object, let obj, which is of type employee is equal to, I'm going to use new employee, something like this. Now here, whatever I have created, maybe it is going to be an X, or else it is Y, or else it is person, or else it is OBJ. All these are what we call it as variable. Now what a variable will contain? Variables will hold the data. Now coming to the MVC design pattern. The first thing is going to be, what is design pattern? The question. Any guess what is design pattern? What is the advantage with the design patterns? Over the period of time, if you are getting an experience, they might like, you will be getting mandatory question in the interview. What are all the design patterns you worked in your application development? So why the question is like that much important, you know? Why it is that much important, you know? See, I started an application. Just assume that I'm an architecture. I started an application. I'm not like, you know, Brahma or like somebody who can imagine like, you know, upcoming 10 years. I can think like, you know, hardly 1 or 2 years prior. Based on that, I started my application. Initially, let's say when I was started, I have like good amount of people who are using my application, and it's around, let's say, 1,000 members who are using my application, and they are very much satisfied for 3 years. Slowly, I'm getting like good reputation, and people are like, you know, adding more and more, like that it happened. If that is a case, just assume that if that is a case, the new people might get different thought, and they will ask like, you know, why you are not implementing this, why you are not implementing this, like that, you know, different people, they are giving different thoughts. Generally that is where, like, you know, every app that you downloaded, below we have the review. Every product you purchase, below we have the review. Based on that reviews only, other people will think to go to for that product or not. Am I right? So that means we should take care of each and every feedback into the consideration, and based on that, our development should be. Based on that, our development should be. So suppose let's say after 5 years, I'm getting like huge requests from different people, but the existing system is not capable of holding that feature. Then I lost the market, definitely, right? Definitely, I lost the market. At that time, what happened? Immediately, a new app will be released with the same business. That is where we have these many. Like Myntra, all are like, e-commerce platform only. Why we have these many means, earlier Amazon is not selling like, everything. Later, like, from the Amazon only, two guys like left out and they started the Flipkart. Seriously, the founders of Flipkart right now, I don't know exactly who are they, but earlier, like, the people who work for Amazon for long period, they came out and then they started. And again, like what happened once the Flipkart is there, we have like, everything. But like, people like, can found like, only the couple of products good. But coming to the clothes and everything, they are not providing in a good way. That is where like Myntra was started immediately. What we can find everything in fashion. Right? Later, Ambani Mama, Ajio. Ajay is good now. Seriously, I used it personally. Ajay is good because when compared with Myntra, Myntra is like, it's completely Aragata products. Seriously, I, I brought a shoe which is around, I guess, 3 to 4K. I ordered a shoe. I really surprised, like, the same piece and like, generally, like, if you can wear some brand and non-brand, we can feel it. After one day, like, I returned. Because I found exactly same as it is in Eragata. One of my friend brought, this is how Myntra don't buy. If you want to go, just go to the showroom and then you can take. Seriously. So why these many are came, like, it's all depend on the feedback. Suppose if your system is not capable of handling that, then are you going to redevelop the everything? Tell me, if you redevelop everything, it's waste of time, waste of money, waste of efforts and everything. That is what the reason, without modifying or without closing that existing system, without breaking that existing system, on the top of it, I'm going to add a new technology or else a new solution that is going to be the design pattern in real time. So what is a design pattern? I'll be writing a simple note here. It is very, very important interview question. What everyone needs to understand. A design pattern is a solution for the problems that occurs with existing technology. That occurs with the existing technology. That means existing technology is not capable of meeting our requirement, meets our requirement. Then what we are going to do is on the top of it, I'm going to give some design pattern. Understand? That is what, like, the design pattern is. Because like the complete operations, if I shut down, we don't have any guarantee that if you come up like, later 1 year with good feature, people might accept and people might not accept. Why should I shut down my market till that time? What I can do on the top of it, I'll be integrating a new one. Understand? I'll be integrating a new one and then I can do that. That is all about the design pattern. A design pattern is a solution for the problems that are occurred with the existing technology. Now, what are the design patterns we are having? We have like, we have 4 people. Okay, GOF, gang of 4. Okay, gang of 4. Erich, Gamma, Ralph. I didn't remember more too. Richard Hell, and there is another guy. Again, gang of 4. Gang of 4. 4 people actually. I remember like, three members. That's good thing only. See this. Erich, Gamma, Richard, Ralph, and John. Okay. So total 4 members. They created like, 3 different types of design pattern. Creational, structural, behavioral. And these design patterns are going to be used in across all the technologies, irrespective of technology, either it is Java, .NET, PHP, Python, or Angular, React, anywhere you can go. Definitely, that is where I'm telling you. Today I started some business means we don't know that like how it could be. If it is good, then we can't supply even. Suppose let's say I started a food business and it is going good. Okay, if I maintain, let's say, the same number of servers or same number of people, workers, if I maintain, is it possible to grow? Obviously, no. What I can do, I'll keep that as it is. Then I can increase the size and I can recruit like, few more workers so that I can give like, based on the demand. Without like, changing everything, what I can do, I may increase. Instead of doing that, suppose, okay, people are coming very well. So I can stop or I can destroy everything. I can start a new building. Might be it takes 6 months. And after 6 months, what happens? In between, like, we have minimum 6 stars by different people. And people in definitely go there and they adapt it. Again, if I start after 6 months, nobody will. Same thing even in real time also. Whatever like operations we are doing, that operation should work. On the top of it, what I can do, I'll add the design pattern. Now, what design patterns are available? We have MVC, and the second one is going to be MVVM is available. This is one of the very popular one. MVC is most popular one. That is where you can find it in .NET, Java, C#, .NET we have ASP.NET Core MVC. Java you can take Struts MVC, Spring MVC, right? Python we have Django is there. That also works on MVC. Angular data binding is also works on MVC. React works on MVC framework. MVC design pattern. And there is another one. I mean, like that we have many are there which works on the top of what? Design pattern, that is MVC. Now here, what exactly the model is? Now MVC, we will understand first what exactly an MVC. An MVC is a design pattern. Design pattern. What it will do? It will divide the development into one second. చెప్పు పవన్ మనకి పర్లేదు పవన్ రేపు ఎల్లుండి క్లాసెస్ ఉన్నాయి పర్లేదు నాకు రాజు క్రియేట్ చేసి ఇచ్చారు నేను నో ఇష్యూస్ పర్లేదు ఇప్పుడు సెండ్ చేసావా సరే పర్లేదు నేను వాళ్ళకి దీంట్లో పెట్టుకుంటాను క్లాస్ రూమ్ లో అప్డేట్ చేస్తాను ఉంది నేను అప్డేట్ చేస్తాను ఇప్పుడే అప్డేట్ చేస్తాను వాళ్ళకి ఓకే ఫైన్ చేస్తాను జస్ట్ ఎ మినిట్ ప్లీజ్ This batch is like, too much people. 9 o'clock. I guess we have around 800 or something. 750. The okay, right. Now you can see an MVC is a design pattern and it will divide the development into 3 parts. In that, okay, 3 parts. In that, what we are having, the first one is going to be model, and second one is going to be view, and third one is going to be the controller. Now what a model will do, it is nothing but data. That means where you store the data, that is a model. If you can store it in a variable, that is a model. If you can store it in an array, that is a model. If you can store it in an object, then that is a model. So a model is something like, the data. And then the next one is the view. What a view here? A view is nothing but it is a presentation. It is a presentation, I can say. And the next one is going to be, we have a controller. It act as a glue. Glue is something like mediator. Mediator between the view and model. That's it. That means we don't have a direct interaction in between the view model and the model to the view. In between, the data should be shared with the help of what? Controller. If we can have like that architecture in order to share the data, or else like use the data to bind the HTML or get the data, then you can use MVC architecture. And about MVVM and how we can do like, the data binding will start on like, the next session. So today what I'm trying to do is I'm going to update everything, whatever like, we discussed so far. I'm going to give you everything in my classroom session. Just give me a minute. Now only I'll add, otherwise I'll forget. And as I informed, tomorrow and after tomorrow, 2 days, we don't have the session. Please make a note of it. I'll be uploading everything. What example here. Angular workspace. Okay. Now I'm not including the node module, but whatever like, we have all the file. I'm going to make a wrap. Sunday. Okay, now it is ready. I'll go there. Complete example and the notes till today. Okay, there only you can find the notes also, guys. Please download the notes and just read like, whatever view. Yeah, you can. So that's it for the day. We'll continue on again when Wednesday. Okay, that's it. Thank you and have a nice day.